What's up, mi gente? Bienvenidos a otro episodio más de este podcast. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos. Hoy estoy muy acompañada de all these handsome gentlemen.
Bravo.
Gracias. Soy una mujer muy afortunada. ¿Allá?
Igualmente, soy muy afortunada de tener a dos profesionales, amiga.
Sí.
A dos doctores aquí que nos van a
enseñar.
Y enseñar todas las cosas, todas sus dudas y preguntas. Aquí los tenemos para contestar.
Ellos son nuestros doctores que trabajan con NutriCuerpo. Mucha gente, a lot of people ask, are we medically supervised? What's the deal with NutriCuerpo, right? Because we're relatively new. Y sí, obviamente para tener una clínica tienes que tener doctores, porque al final del día, pues yo no soy doctora, pero ellos sí lo son. Dr. Mac, say hi.
Hola. Gracias.
And Dr. Gómez.
Hola, gracias.
Aquí el micrófono acá.
Relax,
aquí.
Don't feel nervous.
Thank you for having us.
I'm so excited you guys were able to make it down here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first. Dr. Mac, what do you do for a living?
So I work with this fine man here,
Yes.
overseeing wonderful places like NutriCuerpo.
Yes.
And so we focus. So I do a couple things. One of them is focusing on the weight loss with the Semaglutide, and then also fillers, Botox type injections. And then I also have a vasectomy and circumcision clinic, vasectomía y circuncisión.
That's what you do every day.
Right.
Okay, what made you want to do that? That's kind of interesting.
Well, jokingly, I tell people I lost a bet.
Did you really?
I had to say that just for
really? I'm
just
like,
joking
I
around,
think
joking
it's
around.
true.
Actually, it was part of a broader practice, and then we just were getting busier and busier. I like helping people in kind of defined ways.
Okay.
Many of the medical things we do, we kind of manage long-term health problems, diabetes, blood pressure, and sometimes we can't cure things. So it is very satisfying for me to have a patient come in with a need. We're done having kids, or I'm having pain problems with foreskin, and so then we can do an outpatient, just a surgery. Vasectomy takes about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, ya ves.
Wow.
Good thing you don't want to have any kids.
No, I don't want to have any kids.
Well, here's my card.
There you go. See,
And you need
we'll
this.
put your information here for the people that don't want to have any kids. But anyways, about this,
Vasectomy.
I don't want any kids, but I want to know some stuff about it.
Okay, let's
like
go.
first of all, so when you cut it, when can you be intimate again?
Yeah, after a vasectomy, and that's the one for people who don't want kids, any kids, or don't want more kids, you can be sexually active in 5 days.
Okay.
So it takes like a 5-day break.
Just a little 5-day break.
That's not bad.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Now, you're still fertile, so it takes a good, typically about 3 months for all of the sperm to leave.
To die down completely.
Right. So you
it
still-
completely, what is the percentage rate that it really dies down, that it actually works? 99%?
Oh, gosh. The way I do it, it's 99.99.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
even though we can't claim any
Right,
contraception
100%.
100%, it is the most effective form of
How long have
of
you been working on this?
contraception.
How long have you been practicing this?
Been doing them for 15 short years.
Okay, so you've had plenty of experience.
Yes.
Yeah, because
15 years.
you know what? I had and I own a hair salon.
So he has a lot of women that go
I have
there.
all these women that talk and stuff. There is a girl that she got caught cheating because her boyfriend had a vasectomy and she got pregnant.
He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I can have
he was like,
kids.
wait a minute. So that was what she asked. It's a 99.9.
Yes,
so
it's
that's
pretty
like
effective.
a big chance, for her to not to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously.
So what happened to her? Tell us the cheese.
No, well, she got dumped because
Oh, really?
after and when she told him, he didn't tell her that he had that done, So
No le contó que tenía la vasectomía hecha.
exactamente. So what happened? Then a couple of months later, she ended up being pregnant.
With some guy.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's your kid. And he's like, how? I can't
Hell
have
no,
kids.
I have this done. Yeah, but she didn't know. And then she was offended because he didn't tell her that he had
A vasectomy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. We were talking about this earlier. Because now the Latino community, obviously, I feel like our generation compared to our parents, like my mom comes from having 7 siblings,
10.
10 siblings. Wow. And my mother only had half. She only had 4, and I only plan to have 2, if anything, at least 1 for sure.
And I plan to have
but
0.
But you see what I'm saying? Like this. I think that's why I think that's why our generation is a little bit more careful. on how to plan families, because nowadays it's like we know how expensive it is, and we want to give our kids obviously the best future that possible. Because back then, especially in Latin America, people will get pregnant just because they didn't have any contraceptives.
Yeah,
they didn't have the means to buy it because it was so expensive, or whatever the case may be. But nowadays, I have a lot of friends. I can tell you at least 6 friends they've been married for a while with their spouses, and they have 2-3 kids, and they're like, we're done having kids, but they have like side effects to taking birth control because they gain weight, they have hormonal problems or hormonal changes, or they just don't want to be on the pill or any type of treatment themselves. So like, okay, then you go do it. Then you're going to go do it. And now it's becoming more common, right?
Okay, yo voy a decir eso en español porque es más rápido. Lo que pasa que también con nosotros como mexicanos tenemos esa mentalidad machista.
Right.
Si entiendes que tienen que tener a fuerzas, o sea, si tú piensas que te van a cortar y ya te va a quitar ser menos hombre. Y mucha gente piensa eso porque yo sí he tenido amigos que incluso se hacen bullying de que, ay, no, que quiere que me la corte y eso. Pero como dice el doctor, que vas a sentir el mismo placer.
Claro.
Que vas a sentir lo mismo y que pues cuando terminas, o sea, es todo normal. Simplemente que ya no puedes embarazar a la persona. Así es que no te hace menos hombre.
No.
Pero mucha gente, y tampoco afecta en que se pare, ¿no?
Sí, o sea, que tengas una erección.
Sí.
So Randy was pretty much saying that in the Latino community, there's a lot of machismo. They're like, they're like, oh, I don't want to cut it, or I don't want to do that because it's gonna, yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I can understand the concept. It's completely different than with, for example, with dogs.
Right.
With dogs, the testicles are removed, so their testosterone lowers. They become lazy. They gain weight. But it's completely different with humans. There's absolutely no change to the testosterone levels. Your other hormones are the same. Libido, strength, muscles, energy level. Erections are the same.
Really?
Sexual experience is the same. So, once you're healed, and everything should just feel normal, and you should basically almost forget that you'd even had a vasectomy.
So there's no way as a woman, like in the case of your friend, there's no way as a woman to know if this person had one done or not. There's no way of telling, right?
You're right. The only way you could really know is if the man had a sperm test or semen analysis. That shows that he's sterile, that he doesn't have sperm.
Is it reversible?
It is. There is reversal.
How does it work?
Reversal surgery. So reversal surgery is more complex. Yeah, it's more of like vasectomy is 15 minutes. Reversal is more of like 2 to 3 hours.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot more.
So you have to really think about it.
Yes.
Does it hurt?
Is it? Vasectomy really does not. It's very surprising. Reversal is more sore because it's a longer surgery.
Okay.
It takes longer to recuperate.
To recover, right?
Yeah.
Vasectomy, most men. Yeah, I tell people to expect to be sore for about 1 week, but most men, everyone's different. Most would say that the first day and the next day they feel kind of achy, sore, and then it gets better and better each day. Most men do fine just with Tylenol, acetaminophen. I do give them prescriptions.
You do surgeries to reverse it as well?
I'm not doing the reversal surgeries right now because there's a doctor nearby who is very good. He focuses on them. He's like 90%, 96% effective with the reversals. Reversal is typically 90% effective, so not as effective to put back together. And so we tell people to be sure that they don't want kids. They're done.
Yeah. I have a story, or I know of a couple. They were my friends. So they were dating for like 8 years, and she was a lot younger than him. I think he was like in his mid 40s, and he had been married like for like all his 20s. High school sweetheart, and he had 5 kids with his wife. Wow. So obviously he's in his mid 40s. He's like I'm never gonna. I'm done having kids.
Done. I want no more
think
kids.
His oldest kid is like in college already. Like she's like 20 something, and the youngest is like probably like 15. So then he was done having kids. Long story short, he meets a woman, and I believe she was like 45. I think she was like 31, 32. So obviously, I can relate because I'm in my 30s, and I wouldn't date someone that says, okay, I'm done having kids because I want at least one. Like why am I gonna punish myself, even though I like you and I want to be with you, but you can give me a future where I'm gonna have a stability and give me what I want. So you have to be really, really be secure and really like talk to yourself, what do I want from me? So long story short, they tried all kinds of like but in a way I'm like, he was gaslighting her, because they try like at-home remedies when you literally have to have a surgery to undo that process.
Yes.
You know, so they were together for like 6-7 years, and she was like, you know,
Didn't
getting
happen?
closer to like 35, 36, like, you know, she was getting older, and he did the
Reversal?
reversal, and it didn't work.
No.
No, they tried and tried, and did, can they do IVF?
You can also extract sperm directly from the testicles. So
Okay.
if reversal doesn't work, so that's a second option is direct extraction. A third option is people can freeze the sperm beforehand.
Okay.
Sperm bank it.
Okay.
So have it for the future.
So
And
this
then
couple, they
IVF.
broke up because she was like, you can't give me what I want. We've tried everything, and they broke up after like 7, 8 years. Okay, so my other question to you is, what happens if someone, the female doesn't have any kids and she wants to have kids, but her partner has had the procedure, the vasectomy? Do they have to do the surgery to reverse it, and then they can do IVF, or how does it work?
So two different options. They can either just withdraw some sperm directly from the testicle and then do
Without-
IVF
without-
without doing the without reversal.
Without doing the surgery.
Yeah, just
you
do
can
IVF,
that.
in vitro fertilization. Or you can do the surgery
And then try the old way.
And then the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned
If
way.
people want to have multiple children over several years, it's a good idea to do reversal, because then you can have several children. Whereas IVF, it's like one try.
Yeah.
And
And
then
it's
you have to pay
expensive.
again. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
very expensive.
Okay, that's
the
very
IVF.
interesting.
Well,
Okay.
that's good to know. That's a really good information for other
Yeah.
people that don't want to have any kids, or they have too many kids already.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So because I come from a family of 10, but back in the days, it
was normal.
It was normal.
Yeah.
I told my mom, you were pregnant your whole life. You have 10 kids, and we're all like a year and a half apart. And it's like, oh my God. But you know, as the world changes, everything changes, you know.
Right, mentalities,
There's a
cultures.
mentalities a lot, because a lot of people don't want any more kids. Like usually I have a lot of clients, they're so beautiful, and they like 30 and they don't want no kids. They're like, oh, I don't want no kids.
Any?
No kids. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
I don't know if I don't know what's going on with
And
this
men
generation,
too.
but a lot of
And
women
men
don't have
too.
kids anymore, and a lot of men don't want to have any kids
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, I guess because it gets more expensive, and you know, life is not.
Life is not that
Easy.
easy anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another question that I have, is there a funny story? I have a former coworker. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, and he did the vasectomy. I think he did it like in his late 50s. Is there a gap? Is there a cap or a gap? Cap actually of age. Like after your 60s, after your 50s, you're not supposed to do it, or not allowed. It doesn't work the best.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, there's not. We've had patients. Our typical patient, 35 with 2 or 3 kids, but we have older, younger, people with no kids, people with 8 kids. Actually, I had one. This is generic, so obviously not giving away any secret information. But I had a couple with 8 kids, and so I asked them, oh, that's great. How many his and hers and yours together, and because they looked really young and healthy and energetic, and they said, no, they're ours.
All of them.
I said, you had all 8? And you look so energetic. You're not tired. Like, how'd you do that? So we do have all kind of ages and stages. We've had people, men in their 60s and 70s.
That's crazy because it's true, and I hate to admit this because I'm such a women empowerment, but it's crazy how a 70-year-old man can still have children.
Yeah.
Ain't that a mother?
Yes, it is. I know. You see, a lot of girls, they're like really young. Like, what's your time age? Like 45 for the women to have baby? 45, 50?
Under 40,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Under
45,
40.
40,
45,
45.
Mid-30s are already considered Jerry, right?
Yeah, 35 is geriatric, which
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's why you two guys hurry up, and if you don't have kids, if not, come see doctor. He'll take care of you guys.
So after, I think, obviously after 40 is a little bit more risky for women to have children. Right. But it's crazy how not so long ago, I think it was Robert De Niro, right? Mm-hmm. This guy's like, what, in his late 60s, 70s? And he has a girlfriend like in his 30s? And
I think he's almost 80.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Good for him. Good for him.
Is that possible?
Yes, good for him.
Is there any side effects to the child?
Typically not.
Because
Jesus
he's older?
Christ.
Because
Yes.
he's older? No, why would that be? The same
I don't know.
sperm.
Maybe because the sperm is weaker.
If it'll swim there, it'll make it.
Really? Dios mío.
Sí. Ya ves, lo que pasa que en nuestros tiempos, amiga, No había televisiones, ya ahorita ya hay mucha información, ya hay mucho todo.
Sí,
Ahorita
sí.
estamos en una era que ya de todo te puedes entrar, miras en línea y ves todo lo que necesites saber. Y en los tiempos de nuestros papás no había toda la información, y
Right,
más, mucho
right.
menos que nosotros somos de pueblos.
Claro.
Entonces había menos información. Por eso todo el mundo tenía como 10 hijos, porque no tenían medidas, no se fijaban ellos en medidas o las cosas, cómo estaba el mundo. Ahora que ya sabes cómo está todo cambiado, ya tienes la
Conciencia.
decisión de decir,
Sí.
sabes que quiero 2 hijos, quiero 3 hijos, quiero un hijo. Ya todo depende ya de ti. Ya tienes toda la información. Ya tenemos gente profesional como él que nos guía y nos
ya nos
lleva, y
informa.
nos enseña y nos informa.
Okay, so I have another question. Around what's the price tag for this? Around how much? Is it really expensive? You would think, it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it depends on where you go. At our clinic, it's current price is $730.
That's really
So,
affordable.
That's really affordable.
Very.
Maybe
So
I
it's
should
less
go,
than people think,
since
yeah.
I don't want any kids.
For what? I mean, you don't.
It's cheaper than college tuition. So,
Yeah. I tell people it's about the price of a set of tires.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but it depends on where you go. We have people come from further west Texas where they'll say it's like $2,000, $4,000, depending on where you are.
Wow,
so it's
but
less
with you it's very
expensive.
affordable for sure.
Yeah, it's very affordable.
Okay. So, now let's talk to Dr. Gomez. Nosotros, obviamente, con NutriCuerpo, we've had a boom. You've seen us grow. Like, we partnered up a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and thank the Lord, it's been a blessing. It's good to put a face to the voice that calls a lot of our patients and that keeps track with our patients. And a lot of them, they're like, oh, Dr. Gomez said this, or he cleared me, he didn't. Hay que platicar un poquito de cuándo tú crees que es buena idea para alguien empezar a hacer semaglutide. ¿Y qué es la semaglutide? Let's start with that. What is semaglutide?
So semaglutide, it mimics the GLP-1 receptor in your body. So it helps you lose weight. It helps you by thinking you're full. Helps control your eating habits, and all of that is supposed to be meant to be incorporated with exercise to get the most out of it. So that's when we recommend it. If someone has already been incorporating better eating habits, exercising, walking, anything like that, and they feel like they've hit a plateau, that's a good time to start.
Okay. And when do you feel it's a good time to stop? Because we've had patients who they're like, okay, I've been on this medication for like a year or 2 years. Is there what do you think about that? Not with us, but they come from other clinics and they're like, oh, I'm no longer losing weight. Because I'm going to be very honest with you. I've been on this medication on and off for like a good year now, year and a half. And obviously, when I tried it, I was over 22, 24 pounds. And I work out all the time. But obviously, it was, I'm older. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I remember when I used to just go out for a run and the next day I was lost 2 pounds, like nothing, right?
Yeah.
But obviously with age, our metabolism just slows down. It's part of our genetics. Anyways, so I've been on this medication, like I said, about a year and a half on and off. And obviously it helps me with the cravings. It helps me lose weight faster. But I also know that at the end of the day, nothing is forever. So we found a shortcut, right? To not doing diets or not working out as hard. But when would you say, okay, you shouldn't do it after how long?
Well, so when typically the conversation I like to have with patients before they start on it is explaining that the goal is always to come off of this, right? So short term can look different for different people, 3 months, 6 months, a year for some, right? But the goal is to learn these better eating habits and exercising while you're on it, so that when you stop it, you can keep the weight off.
Right.
So
Because you can bounce back. Like anything,
Sí,
surgeries, lipos.
Es lo que te iba a decir, porque todo el mundo piensa que porque se hace una cirugía plástica, te hace una liposucción, siempre vas a estar así. No, tú te tienes que cuidar después de todo eso. Es como todo. O sea, si tú comes y comes, ¿qué va a pasar?
Claro.
Vas a engordar. Pero si tú te vas cuidando y te enseñan a llevar una guía
alimentación.
alimenticia, entonces tú vas a tener más cuidado con lo que comes, porque tú ya sabes que si te descuidas, vas a engordar. No importa que te hagas lipo o que te vas
Mami
a correr
makeover.
o que te vas a hacer ejercicio. Si tú no te cuidas, siempre hay una consecuencia.
Right.
It'll come back.
I even know of a couple of people, because it's been getting really popular. It's been popular, but it's getting even more popular thanks to social media. The gastric band, am I saying it correctly? La banda gástrica.
La banda gástrica, sí.
Yeah, and I've known people who have gotten it done, and unfortunately they don't take care of the eating habits, and boom, next thing you know,
Sí, ajá.
it comes loose, or they gain the weight back. I mean, it's like everything, right? If you don't take care of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question that I have, ¿Cuáles son los beneficios? If you can say this in Spanish, would be great.
Oof. So the benefits of semaglutide.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard to say in Spanish.
Okay, we'll say it in English.
Ahí nos
So-
hablan para cualquier pregunta.
Yeah, you
Lo
go.
traducimos
traducimos.
nosotros
Yeah.
lo traducimos, no hay problema, ¿eh?
So the benefits is going to be, for one, right, when you are doing some of the better habits, or actually let's start with the majority of our patients, right? These are
Right.
patients that don't already have these good habits in place. So patients who, they're stagnant, they're not exercising, they feel like they're overweight, they're too tired to even start working out. This medication is a good jump starter for that.
To motivate them, right?
Exactly. You put them on this medication, they start seeing the weight come off, and that it's instead of like a downward spiral, this is an upward spiral, I call it, right? It gives you inspiration to start working out or start eating
A boost of
little bit
confidence,
better.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. So
For sure.
when they start, is they do everything a little bit better. So.
Yo usé las inyecciones de la clínica de Carla, de NutriCuerpo, y la verdad te voy a decir que funcionan una maravilla. O sea,
Yeah, they're great, obviously.
te enseña a controlar y como dices tú, te da mucha motivación porque empiezas a ver esos pantalones que te empieza a bajar la talla y tú ya como que piensas y dices, ¿sabes qué? No quiero volverlo a hacer.
Exactly.
Y ahorita yo estoy en un punto de mi vida que cuando yo usé eso bajé mucho de peso, las inyecciones. Pero a mí me gusta estar un poquito más gruesecito, ¿sí
Más
entiendes?
rellenito.
O sea, es que cada quien es el gusto de cada
Claro,
quien,
claro,
¿verdad?
claro.
Mucha gente le gusta estar esquelética y se respeta.
Claro.
Mucha gente le gusta estar nada más
Gruesa.
buenota, gruesa y se respeta.
claro, claro.
Y a mí la verdad me encantaron porque como el doctor dice, me daba más confianza
Motivación.
en mí, me hacía más motivación,
Yeah.
me miraba al espejo, los jeans ya me quedaban bien y todo eso. Entonces, para mí sí funcionó maravillosamente. Claro. Yo soy de muy buen diente, de muy buen comer. O sea,
Ajá.
siempre como. Y más que tengo acá a mi amiga que siempre me invita a comer. Y
Pero
pues
hago
ahí
ejercicio,
vamos.
querida.
Pero ella hace mucho ejercicio.
Yes, I work out 4 to
Y-
5 times a week. Yeah.
Y yo no, y a mí lo que me gusta de esto es de que sí me controla el apetito, porque ya dejé de comer muchas cosas que yo comía gracias a la inyección de Carla. Por ejemplo, yo era muy coquero, hablando de refresco, y era muy de
Dulces.
chips y dulces y
yeah.
chocolates
Yeah,
y todo
ew.
eso, y ahorita ya como que me ha bajado mucho, no se me antoja. Después de que usas inyecciones, sí lo como, pero una mordida o dos no como
Sí.
lo hacía antes.
Yeah.
Por eso sí es muy bueno eso.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, we've had so many patients, and it's like a very, I'm sure it happens to you guys. It's like a very fulfilling reward because you're like they cry and they're like, oh my God, I've tried everything, diets, pills, juices, cleanses. I've tried everything. I've never got to lose this type of amount of weight so fast, and without like having to spend so much money or without having to like restrict themselves from eating what they really want because now what they eat is like in moderations, right? Don't combine all this type of carbs in one plate. Like learn, right? Okay, like the main player of your plate, it should be high protein, the chicken, whatever. But I mean, it just feels really good when we have patients that are like, oh my God, the last time I was this weight, I was in high school or before my children.
Yeah.
Or I lost,
O cuando tenía 20 años.
yeah, when I
Sí.
was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So it feels really good. It's a win-win situation, But like you said, it's not meant to be forever on this medication.
Right.
So yo siempre le digo a los pacientes, aprendan, bájenlo y aprendan a cuidarse. Porque no es nada.
Y hacer
siempre.
ejercicio, el ejercicio es buenísimo para la salud, amiga.
Yes.
Right? Exercise is the best thing for the health.
Right.
Everything. I talk about that, I don't do it, but I know it's the
But at
best
least you
thing.
go dancing.
But at least I go dancing, right?
Yes.
And I'm a hairdresser, so I'm in my feet all day and I'm moving my arms. So that's a pretty much exercise for me.
The other day I was listening to a podcast and they were saying how nowadays a lot of people are actually working out, not because obviously you want to look good naked and you want to look good in your clothes, but it's also a reminder that you don't want to be 80, 70 years old and you can't walk.
Yeah.
You have to
Can't
depend on
move,
someone
exactly.
to help you even go to the restroom. Like, like if you have an active body, there's people that I know that are in their 60s and dude, they have so much more energy than I do. And they're like, oh, I've been an athlete my whole life. Oh, I've been working out my whole life. So you have to start. It doesn't matter when you start, but as long as you start now, the sooner the better, obviously.
No
What do you
dejes
think
las
about that?
cosas
Yeah.
que puedes hacer hoy para mañana.
Claro, claro. Otra cosa que you want to share with us about semaglutide que te gustaría que el público supiera.
I would say probably some helpful tips, right? So
Okay.
some patients will start on the medication, and I feel like the biggest thing is some of them are impatient. So, they always say like,
I wanna lose 20 pounds in the first month.
Exactly, they're expecting all this weight loss in the first month. So the medication is very, very safe, right? It's very effective. You just have to be patient. Most patients won't lose weight, that first month or so. It comes down to, avoiding alcohol is going to be a big one, right? So
Avoiding alcohol. Muchos de
Wow,
nosotros nos
don't
gusta.
say that to me, please. Please do not say that to me.
It's a big one. I mean, whether you're on the medication or not, right? Alcohol makes it harder to lose weight, so.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another helpful one is I know patients who are doing everything they should be, either eating
Following the
vegetables
protocol.
or exercising, but they'll experience bloat has been one of the big ones, right? So bloat and gassiness. And so we've been seeing on some recent studies patients who are eating vegetables of broccoli, cauliflower, and asparagus. Try and avoid those if you're on semaglutide, because that
Okay, good to know.
cause some
Okay,
bloat.
good to
some
know.
bloat and-
Yeah, because anyways, these vegetables, they do tend to do that, to bloat
Exactly,
you.
yeah.
So it only makes it worse.
Exactly. So when you're on this medication, whatever you eat, if it's already known for that, you're going to amplify it. So same thing with spicy foods. If you're already at baseline, have heartburn, try and limit it or avoid it as well, because then you'll just...
Who are
No,
some,
bueno,
who are
como
some of the people that don't?
mexicanos, nosotros como mexicanos que le ponemos chile hasta
A
los dulces.
Right.
We as Mexicans,
On
we
your
put
drinks.
and candy and fruit
Yeah.
and bread and
Chile.
everything. Everything we put, ¿cómo se dice chile en inglés?
Yeah, spicy
Yeah.
chile.
Spicy,
Peppers,
yeah,
Yeah.
chile. Okay, so we put Mexicans, we put chile on everything.
Even
People
on
that have
candy,
gone
you're
to
right,
Mexico,
dude.
for real, people
That's
that go to
true.
Mexico from Colombia, they go to my shop, they always tell me, they're like, man, you guys put chile on everything. En la fruta pido, ¿quieres chile? ¿Quieres chile?
On the corn,
On the
everywhere,
sweet,
dude.
and the sweet, you make it spicy.
Yeah.
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 We'll put it on the beer, too.
Yeah,
On the beer,
on the
too.
beer, on everything. It's like you ask for tequila, you want spicy thing around
Yes.
it. It's,
I've had some, because thank God we do have a lot of male patients who come with their girlfriends or wives, because the girl tried it, or their spouse tried it first. And they're like, oh my God, my wife lost 20 pounds. I want to do it too. I want to get rid of my beer belly. But the first thing I tell them, okay, you want to get rid of the beer belly, you need to leave the beer on the
You leave the
side,
beer.
because you're not going to see a positive side effect. Or they're like, oh my God, I had a drink last night and I had the worst hangover, because it doesn't go.
Yeah.
It doesn't go. What do you think about that when people are having a hard time leaving alcohol?
I mean, that's a big one, if it's that bad, then...
Especially around the holidays.
Yeah, then they might have to wait, But I think once they know, the way I try and explain it to them is saying, look, you're spending good money on this medication, right? So that's just motivation why you should try everything you can to make this medication work for you, so that you can get off of it sooner and, enjoy your beer. But
Yeah.
Sí, porque hay mucha gente que solamente quiere perder 10, 15, 20 libras. O sea, no todo el mundo quiere perder muchas libras.
Ya, pero
Pero lo importante es de que ya te dieron el empujón, ya te las
Síguelo.
bajaron. Ahora ya tienes que mantenerte y decir, ¿sabes qué?
Yeah.
Si me tomaba 10 cervezas, me voy a tomar 2. ¿Sí
Right.
entiendes? Tienes que, todo en la vida tiene un límite.
Right.
Y todo en la vida es una balanza.
That's true.
Así es que tú eres lo que tú comes.
See,
Yeah.
you are what we are what we eat. I say that to people, because I think people are like, oh, but you're always eating a lot. I'm like, yeah, but I'm working my ass off
Yeah,
too. Like I
and-
go and run 3 miles, or the next day if I know I had a big meal, the next day I'm gonna eat clean, or I'm just gonna have protein
I
shakes
open my
all day long.
Instagram at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's Carla exercising. I'm like,
Yeah.
and my husband is like, oh, she's exercising for both of us. Don't worry.
And a lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, but you have that body because not the shots, or you have that body because you work out. No, don't get this twisted. Obviously, semaglutide will help you with the
A
cravings,
lot.
and they will help you lose weight. But the way to gain muscle is by hitting the gym.
Yeah.
It's by picking up some weights. It's by doing, cycling or some type of weight exercise. That's how you're going to gain your muscle. So I always tell people, go lose the weight. Come and see us, lose the weight. Once you get your body closer to your goal, where you want to be, or like your weight goal, then go hit the gym.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell people, because
Yeah,
they're like,
absolutely.
oh, but you have that body. I'm like, no, it's a combination.
Yeah,
It's a combination.
it's
Yeah.
not a magic pill.
Speaking of combination stuff like that, I feel like nowadays men are also being more like into like taking care of themselves. Like there's so many men that come to the clinic, they're like, oh, I want to get rid of my panza, I want to get rid of my lonja, I want to look better.
And that's
for my
good.
wife,
That's
I wanna look
good.
better."
That's really
and now
good.
they're also doing a lot of Botox.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, because a lot of
Not me.
like-
I don't have any Botox.
No, you're full of it. Guess how old Randy is?
27.
See, that's my favorite doctor right
27.
here. This is my favorite doctor here.
He's
I'm going to go
almost
see
50.
you. I don't want to have any kids.
He's how old?
He's almost 50.
No.
Oh, really?
No, I'm 35.
No, honestly.
I can say this on air.
What are you selling
I'm
in
gay.
this?
I'm not supposed to. My people are not supposed to know my age.
No,
I'm like
but-
a woman. You don't ask that.
No, but he's up there. He's up there.
I'm
He's up there. But you know what? Because he started to do Botox at a really young age. Like I tell a lot of my guy friends, I'm like, guys, there's nothing wrong. You're not gonna lose your manhood because you go and do a facial, because you take care of your skin, because you do Botox. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
have you ever
no,
tried
I
it?
haven't done it.
Dr.
You know, I have had it done. Yeah, and it took like 5 minutes. It didn't hurt. You know, I kind of oversee, you know, some clinic that does some, you know, we do the Botox and fillers also, and so.
Yeah. What do you think about it? You think it's, I think it's great, right?
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's not
Have you done it?
For me, it's the
I've
best
done it on
thing.
people.
You never done it yourself?
No, I haven't done it myself. But one thing is, people think they're supposed to do it once they start seeing wrinkles. You know, it's supposed to be preventative. So
Yeah,
you know what?
preventative.
I told my husband, he's 26 years old, and I every time I go to do my Botox, I take him with me, and I tell him this is to prevent.
Yeah.
You know what? I started in a really young age.
At what age did you start exactly?
I started at 30.
Okay.
Okay, so like 300 years ago?
Yeah, kind of. No, but
Were there cars available at that time?
I love Botox, and I just love it because it gives you that confidence. Like, you know, it gives you that confidence.
That
you
boost.
feel fresh and everything. To me, for a guy to be doing this, it's really good because you need to take care of yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to age how they're supposed to. Not me. Not me. Not me.
My body doesn't match my inner child.
No, exactly.
You know?
I'm gonna
He's
go
like,
down.
I feel like I'm 20.
I'm gonna go down. I'm
double
gonna
the
go
age
down
of
with
20.
no wrinkles. Okay.
No aging gracefully.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
well,
funny.
thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other suggestions you want to share with us and the public?
Well, maybe can we say how to get a hold of us?
Yes,
or-
yes. We're going to put your link on right here so they can find you.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Do you have social media?
Yes, so the easiest way to reach us is just on the internet with it's just comfortprocedures.com.
Okay.
Comfortprocedures.com. We do have a Facebook and an Instagram, and so it's mainly for people. We do any man, any male who's having any issues in this area, and so be it you know, any pains or discomforts or problems, we deal with that, and then, you know, of course, any male or any couple that is done having children or doesn't want to have children.
He's like, call me. I'll help you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be your birth control.
Yamame.
Yes. And what about you, Dr. Gomez?
Well, actually, to touch on that, since you had said women empowerment earlier, I did want to throw in, you know, when couples are done, a lot of times men, sorry, I'm also a lot of times men want the women to do it, right? But for women, it's an actual surgery. And so for men, it's you know, it's a quick 15-minute thing. So
you see, guys,
the
sacrifice
guys
yourself.
the guys need to step up and do that.
Your wife just got done having 3-4 kids, 2-3-4 kids.
Yeah.
Come on, you can take a procedure and do it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's inexpensive. It's very affordable.
Yeah.
Under $1,000. Girls, I'm telling you, because I have a lot of my friends, so they're like, no, I'm done taking birth control. I'm done getting all this stuff done in my, you know, whatever. You can go ahead and do it, and it's an easy, quick fix.
Yeah, we say take one for the team.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Take one for the team.
Exactly.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm for sure I don't want any kids. That's one thing I know.
Well, maybe your husband wants kids.
Well, he's not doing it. I'm doing it. He can have it with somebody else.
Thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate your time and all this knowledge. Thank you. I hope you can come back sometime soon again.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, mi gente. Besitos. Hasta la próxima. Aquí vamos a poner información de los doctores para que los contactes si tienen alguna duda o pregunta. Besitos.